Hello, I'm Dr. Edward, the Healing Vet. I'm here for this weekly get together where we take a deep dive into some of the more kind of values based, principles based ways of making a difference for your pets. So the things that we talk about are a little bit more kind of high level, but they're very practical. When you apply them, it makes a real difference for your pets, in other words. So today, I'm sitting here in Taradale. It's 35 or something degrees out there and windy and high fire danger, extreme and even catastrophic fire danger in a few places around Victoria this day, which is kind of adds a little bit of tension to the day. So patience. I'm going to look over here so I can just go through some definitions for a moment. Patience is the will or ability to wait or endure without complaint, and steadiness, endurance, or perseverance in the performance of a task. If you go and look at the etymology and get into a little bit of the deeper meaning of patience, the meaning is bearing, supporting, suffering, enduring, permitting, and tolerant. So when you're patient, you're tolerant. When you're patient, you're willing to wait with your animals while they have the time they need to learn or process or just have some time themselves to think or whatever. Then kindness is the quality of being gentle, caring, and helpful. And the deeper meaning from the etymology is courtesy, noble deeds. And what I really like is deliberately doing good to others. Now, patience and kindness are a really beautiful way to increase connection. And, a lot of humans are not very good at patience. And a lot of humans, well, they might have a certain capacity for kindness, and they're often a lot kinder to their pets than they are to themselves, to be honest. But it's still pretty common that humans have been taught a whole lot of ways in their early life and from living in this human jungle and society that we inhabit that are not as kind as they could be. So a lot of humans, particularly with animals, do have a good level of kindness. But I'm convinced that there is always more when it comes to both patience and kindness, that they're like a muscle, and the more you exercise and use them, the greater your capacity for them becomes. But when you're patient with your animals, well, if you've ever had a human or a boss or someone or a teacher in your life who was really patient with you when you were either having a difficult time or you were perhaps being a difficult human, you'll know that that feeling of someone being patient with you is pretty bloody lovely. It's like, I think there's an element in patience that if you're patient with your animals, they feel heard. They feel like they have the space and time that they need to learn, to respond to what you're asking, or sometimes just to bugger off and not do what you want them to do, which, my little whippet puppy at the moment is teaching me loads more about patience than I've ever learnt before, because Jem, at 4 or 5 months old, is getting into everything and doing naughty things and very lively, very intelligent, and doing some behaviors that we don't necessarily love a whole lot. But I refuse to be impatient and harsh and unkind with her. Now, I've just got to live with that. I've got to be patient with how she is and where she's at in her development. And kindness is something that became a really core value for me after the end of my second marriage, because there was a lot of unkindness from my second wife in my second marriage. A lot of active and passive unkindness. And it wasn't till that ended that I realized just how much injury being unkind causes emotionally and energetically. And it took me a long time to heal from that. So, how do you grow your patience and your kindness? How do you express more and more patience and kindness with your beautiful animals? Because the more you do, the happier and more safety your pets are going to, more happiness and more safety your pets are going to experience. And your relationship with your pets is going to blossom and deepen and get much stronger the more you can express patience and kindness with them. So the first thing that you kind of need to do is decide, well, I'm going to grow my capacity for patience and kindness with my animals. You have to make a decision. And then after you've made the decision, well, if you don't act on a decision, nothing much is going to happen, right? So then you have to start going, well, I'm going to do stuff. I'm going to actually actively work in any way and every way that I can in being more patient and kinder with my pets. Now, to do that, one of the first things you got to do is go, okay, where have I got weaknesses? Where might I be lacking in patience and kindness? Now, Jem has pointed out quite a few areas where I had not as much patience as I thought I did since she's come along, and she's been a crazy, wild, beautiful, active, intelligent little puppy dog. So just being willing to be aware of where you're at when it comes to patience and kindness in your life is a really good first step. But then the next thing is, okay, I'm aware of what's going on. Now, how can I be more patient? Sounds simple, right? Not always easy, because when you do, if you ever do experience impatience, that's because something deep inside you has been triggered. And it might be something when you're a kid, a certain dynamics in the family that if you didn't do things straight away, you got whacked. So therefore, if your dog doesn't do things straight away, then you get a whole lot of stuff come up from when you're a kid, and ideas that might be very unconscious or subconscious for you that, well, things have to happen in a certain time on my schedule. So practicing patience often leads to internal emotional healthy discomfort. And I find that still now that I have to go, right, I'm feeling impatient, and I'm going to be patient while I'm feeling impatient. It's something that you can absolutely do, but it takes a decision and it takes an application of your will in action. And kindness, well, I think there's always room for us to grow into greater kindness, into more refined expressions of kindness, into exploring just how kind can we be with our animals. And I know that I've been working on this for a long time, and I'm still finding greater capacity to do this with my animals. So kindness, what does kindness mean? It means really consistently being gentle and caring with your animals, and actively looking out for their welfare in every way you can. Now, I know that I got patterned pretty early with some pretty aversive ways to work with animals. I grew up on a cattle property in North Queensland, and there was a lot of force and pain and fear used to make animals do what humans want them to do. So my kind of deeper patterning is something I need to be aware of here. And there's a deeper patterning in the whole of humanity, with the whole biblical sense that animals are put here to serve humans' needs. And there's a whole backlog of totally false ideas around animals not having any kind of feelings, or even feeling pain or emotions. So we need to be aware of that we have our cultural kind of shadows around all this too. But the core message that I want to get across today is, the more you can grow your patience and increase your capacity for kindness, the happier your pets are going to be, and the more beautiful your relationship with your pets is going to be. And I won't sugarcoat it. Any growth like this is going to involve a need to put effort in, and most likely some healthy discomfort along the way. So have fun being patient and kind with your beautiful pets this week. And until I come back next week to talk about next week's themes, please give your pets beautiful, kind, patient pat from me. I look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks for now. And please do let me know in the comments what you think of this little talk. And if you have any questions in the comments, I'd love to hear from you. Bye for now. Have a beautiful day with your pets.